and welcome to another No Dunks Emergency Podcast presented by FanDuel. It's still July 1st, 2026, and we got a blockbuster to discuss here. The Southern Lawyer, the floor is yours.
We got ourselves a trade.
We do indeed, Southern Lawyer. Celtics forward Jaylen Brown is headed to a division rival. I'm Skeets. We got Tass, TK, JD in the background, pushing all the buttons. You're joining us live on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe, podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Jaylen Brown is going to the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're sending back Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round selections to Boston for Jaylen Brown and his Twitch stream setup. That 2028 first-rounder could convert from a first to a pick swap that is more favorable to the Celtics. That 2031 first, it's unprotected, baby. So it happened. I sort of was right with this one. Jaylen Brown has been traded, and it didn't take all that long. Tass, your thoughts on JB going to the Sixers?
My thought is, what did Jaylen do? Why do they hate him so much? I mean, old man Kawhi Leonard just got more for him than what Jaylen Brown just got as a young guy. What is going on? That is my first question. 2 first-round picks and PG. There's got to be something more that we learn about. I mean, Shams 1 hour ago was saying the Celtics are strongly shopping him to 8 to 10 teams. This ain't a strong package. This is not.
No, it's not. I will agree with that.
You go out and strongly shop, and this is all you get. This is my big question immediately. The Celtics fans have to be upset at this whole scenario. I get the whole idea of what Jaylen Brown is, but there's got to be something more than this out there for him. I guess not.
Guess not, because they did the deal. This is a hilarious trade. It isn't very often that a trade happens in the NBA when both teams think they lost, and the general reaction from every single person is LMAO, because that's the main take I've seen from people. Jaylen Brown was traded for Paul George. Weren't the Celtics going for Giannis Antetokounmpo with Jaylen Brown like a week ago? Mm-hmm. Instead, they're shipping out a Twitch stream for a podcaster. I guess they're getting one good asset. That 31 unprotected pick. That is the jewel of the trade here for the Celtics. But this is an insano move from the reigning executive of the year in Brad Stevens. I can't believe Jaylen Brown is getting traded for Paul George.
Yeah, right. Jaylen Brown's future in Boston had been in question for a couple weeks now, and it felt like, and some of us were saying, once the Celtics attempted to trade Jaylen Brown to the Bucks for Giannis, and Milwaukee instead went with the Miami Heat package, that was, can you put the toothpaste back in the tube? And so suddenly it turned into Boston looking around at all these other teams and trade partners hoping to get something for JB. We heard 4 first-round picks. They didn't get close to that. I mean, it could be really the one unprotected 2031 if it turns into a swap, that 28. So, yeah, Tass, I hear what you're saying. Like, it's like they were just like, get out of the Jaylen Brown business. Now, is it Jaylen saying, get me the hell out of here? Hated how you treated me. Hated how this went down and all that. Or is it just the other side of things? And it's like, we'll take whatever. Let's just move on. It's crazy. This is nothing.
Yeah. Even if it's Jaylen saying, get me out of here, you would think there'd be more than a 36-year-old Paul George that many contemplated as the worst contract for a good chunk of his stay in Philadelphia. Now, he played a lot better this year. That being said, he's 36. And so that plus 2 first-round picks is shocking. I thought when we're talking about Portland, we're talking about potentially the Donovan Clingan being the hang-up. At least you're going to get a good, solid player for a long period of time, along with picks. So that's why it's shocking. I thought Brad would be getting both parts. Very, very good player right here, right now to help out Jason Tatum, plus picks. That did not happen. As much as Paul George will be fun on the wing for a year or two, because he's got 2 more years on his contract. Oh, come on. We all expected more than Paul George at this age.
Well, I expected if the return is going to be Paul George and a couple of picks that the Celtics would just say no. I thought that would not be a good enough return for a guy who just had literally the best year of his career, finished 6th in MVP. He was a second team All NBA player, Jaylen Brown. He's under team control. Look, you can criticize his contract. We're going to get into that for sure when we talk about the Sixers side of things, how much Jaylen Brown is making for how long. That's a big time deal. But doing it for Paul George, you could have just said no and tried to run it back with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You could have shopped around for another deal. I see very little upside in shipping out a guy who has built his almost Hall of Fame career. Like Jaylen Brown probably will go into the Hall of Fame by the time he puts up all of his counting stats. He's got a title already. All of that happened in-house for Boston, and they're basically salary dumping him after his best year.
Yeah, and in a year that, I mean, he's going to be 30 years old at the start of next season. Turns 30 in October, so like in his prime and coming off his best year, as Trey said, just to back that up with the stats, basically 29 points per game, 7 boards, 5 assists. He helped lead Boston to 56 wins. Now, they had the first round series loss to the Philadelphia 76ers here, which is a funny little wrinkle to this. And maybe they're looking at that roster, and I've been saying this for a little while here, that they're going, I don't know, we have a lot of holes, or we've been exposed a little bit here. Tatum, Brown, 2 super max salaries. Like, this is just going to be next to impossible in this CBA with how you get capped at these aprons to manage. And so you move off it. But man, I didn't think it was going to be for this. Like, I'm with you guys. Like, this is the fascinating part. Even if you got to trade him because you can't come back to the table and everybody can play nice, you could still wait for another month or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen trades happen in September all the time when teams maybe get a little more desperate and like throw another pick in or a prospect. But yeah, to move like this is, I mean, it's flabbergasting, as a lot of people are saying in the chat.
It's absolutely shocking, and it's surprising because it sure doesn't seem like, according to Shams, and unless he needs to protect Jaylen Brown, he is saying that Jaylen Brown did not demand a trade, and so why pull it off now? Did he say I've got to celebrate the 4th of July on my new team? I mean, there's no logic unless there's something drastic happening behind the scenes. Why do you trade somebody who just did so well for Paul George, another 2 years for him, a year plus a player option that he's going to accept, and 2 first-round picks? That it's a little convoluted. I thought the laying out of, as you said, Skeets, the 2031 unprotected, that's clear, but the 2028 first-round pick that could convert from a first to a swap that is more favorable to Boston, doesn't that just mean it's a pick swap? Or does it mean that the Philadelphia 76ers have the Clippers pick from James Harden in 2028? So does that mean it could swap to the Clippers pick? Just a convoluted way of saying that, yeah. Maybe. So maybe it's, hey, the Clippers are going to be bad now. Maybe that'll be the best one, but still not to have any substance. I get what you're saying, Skeets, Tatum and Brown together. Maybe they've seen the end of it, and maybe Jaylen Brown, as the analytics guy said, I mean, he's more of a player that gets things done in terms of production in totality, but when you talk about his isolation numbers, not all that good. His pick and roll numbers, not all that good. I still don't get it.
What are we talking? This guy won a championship. Oh my God. This anonymous fucking analytics guy is stupid. I don't buy any of this, by the way. Bobby Marks was talking out his ass. That's all was going on. Give me a break. This is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. If you do look at the second spectrum numbers of him being his isolation numbers or his pick and roll numbers, they're not all that efficient, and that's all that it is. It's not good. This whole thing isn't.
There
good.
are many superstars and Hall of Famers who haven't been all that efficient. Kobe, Iverson. I mean, go down the list. I'm not saying Jaylen Brown is on their level, maybe, but like, come on. The guy scored 30 points per game and has helped lead a team to a championship.
So what's the logic? Did he demand, I need to be a number one guy right here, right now? And Brad said, no, we can't do it. And then he couldn't find anything better than this. I mean, is that where the disagreement was? I mean, that's kind of, unless there's something going on off the court that we don't know about, but there's got to be something a little deeper here other than Brad not believing it. Because as you guys said, why not just roll it out and see? I don't know. Maybe you can get close to a championship again? Because it wasn't that long ago when you won a championship. It's very confusing.
Yeah, if it's just like the things that we've heard on the Twitch stream and through interviews throughout the year about him being happier as a number one guy, you can leave those on the back burner and still do the deal in September. Give it a couple of months, see if feelings get a little bit less hurt, see if everybody's able to get back on the same page. So yeah, I mean, it's just shocking that this would happen. This is a very forward, future-thinking move from the Celtics because, like you spelled out, this could be the Clippers pick getting to the Celtics in 2028. The stream team was pushing back, saying that might be the best pick they get rather than the 31 unprotected. Nonetheless, if you get a good one in 28, you get a good one in 31. That's a pretty nice start for a rebuild. But the Celtics aren't rebuilding. Jason Tatum is in his prime. They just wasted a season of Jason Tatum's prime with him being out with an Achilles injury. Now this feels like they've taken a step back talent-wise. We saw Porzingis leave. We saw Drew Holiday be traded. A lot of talent has gone out the door since Bill Chisholm has taken over. As soon as the Celtics won their title in 2024, all the talk was Wick Grusbeck's trying to sell this team because they're getting really expensive and they're going to have to be broken up. That is becoming a reality for the Celtics because as soon as they won the title, it's just been downhill ever since then. Players going out, they've done a good job of finding young guys to replace them, but the top end talent is not the same. And that's kind of weird considering where they were at the 2024 season. It looked like they were set up for a long run. And now it's a question mark. Will they get back to a conference finals? I think they've taken a step back in the Eastern Conference for sure.
Where is Jason Tatum in all this, by the way?
Great point.
Like, have we heard a single thing from him about obviously the Giannis trade rumor involving his guy, Jaylen Brown, and now all of this? Like, very quiet, very quiet. So I only bring that up because I would hope Brad Stevens and the Celtics front office are talking to their other superstar in Jason Tatum about his thoughts on this and ultimately going their separate ways and obviously whatever the return is. Like you would think, right?
Haven't heard a thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nope.
That speaks volumes, says they're saying here in the stream team. I think
that's right.
It'd be fascinating to see. Crazy. I mean, so what have the Celtics done here in free agency? Correct me if I'm wrong. Mitchell Robinson.
Yep.
They've signed. He got paid a little bit more than he was going to get from the Knicks. Mike Conley has joined the team. Obviously, Paul George in this trade. Ron Harper coming back. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, where do they stand in this Eastern Conference? Because we're rolling with the Knicks as the champs, and then that second tier gets a little bit murky from there because Cleveland made to the conference finals. Detroit is who knows what they are at this point, and then your Toronto, Philly, Miami, Boston. I mean, I don't know where you guys want to put them, but we're rolling with the Celtics. You're rolling with Derek White, Paul George, Jason Tatum, sort of as your big three, and Keita is your center. And then, those are your four guys you're going to start. And then you got a wing trio of Sam Hauser, Baylor Sharman, and Ugo Gonzalez. That'll start.
I mean, they're bringing Jordan and Pippen off the bench. They should be pretty good. Unbelievable. Yeah. The two guys that were held out of the trade aren't going to start for this team. That's ridiculous. The Celtics took a step back. The Sixers, I think, are taking a step forward. We haven't even really talked about their side because this feels so Boston focused with the return going back to the Celtics being so mediocre. But I think this is pretty good for the Sixers. They do have to pay Jaylen Brown a few more $1 million per year. They do have to pay Jaylen Brown for another season longer than they would have had to choose or than they would have had to pay Paul George. I don't think the timeline is a lot better. Jaylen Brown is 30 years old. Maxi's 26. VJ Edgecombe's 21. So a little bit closer than Paul George, but not perfect. It makes them an interesting team, but there is literally no depth on this team. They got a nice starting five in Maxey, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, Dean Wade now, and Embiid when he's healthy. But outside of that, I don't know. I do think they're better than they were last year, though, because I think Jaylen Brown is good, more reliable than Paul George. You're expecting Jaylen Brown to play more games. He's been 63 plus in each of the last 5 seasons. That's acceptable. He's definitely Embiid insurance as well. If Embiid misses time, at least you're going to have Jaylen Brown playing. I don't think that's always a guarantee when it's Paul George. So I think Philly got better. I think Boston got worse. And I think the team that's probably the happiest about this has to be the Raptors a little bit, seeing
Damn right.
the Celtics get worse. And certainly the Knicks. Like the Knicks are laughing now. They're like, we built our team to beat the Celtics, and they completely self-imploded.
Yeah.
Raptors, and easy winner.
And to speak on the Sixers, I mean, it always, unfortunately, still with him on the roster, it's just going to come down to whether Embiid can stay healthy and like what type of Embiid you're getting. So you can laugh at that. You can take a drink to that. I mean, that's always the case with them. But man, this is an incredible upgrade at that position. I'm sorry. Paul George obviously missed time last year and then looked okay, probably because he missed a lot of time, right? Didn't have to play a full season. But Jaylen Brown, that one thing that guy does is generally put up stats. He's also going to, I would assume, take this very personally. And, hopefully that's a good thing for Sixers fans, him with VJ and Maxey there as your sort of 1, 2, 3, and you go from there. Yeah, they've got other things to do here. Like, hey, maybe Ben Simmons is coming back to the Philadelphia 76ers.
They could use him.
They could probably use a guy right now with Kelly Oubre leaving as well. But, could this be a LeBron team suddenly too? Well, what an upgrade though. I mean, this was not a lot for a superstar player. He's got his warts, but Jaylen Brown is awesome. He is good. I'm a fan. So awesome move by them. Daryl Morey, is Daryl Morey still in charge of the Philadelphia 76ers? Because this is a Morey-like move, isn't it?
That's Mike Gansey, though.
Yeah, I know. He's like, superstar available? Yep, we're interested. We'll go get him. Figure it out
Mike
later.
Gansey,
yeah, but at least they got younger. They got healthier. The Embiid contract, I think, becomes better when it's just one bad, unreliable player on your team. That's a ceiling raiser more so than a floor lowerer, I think. And that's the good thing about getting Jaylen Brown in here. Like, I do think it's going to be tough for the Sixers to improve the team a lot past their big three because it's big time contracts for Maxey, Embiid, and Jaylen Brown. Eventually, Edgecombe's going to come up for an extension as well. Things are going to get really tricky then. I don't know if the Sixers are going to get over the top the way they've been trying for the entirety of the Embiid era, but they've got a better chance of that happening now.
Yeah, they are thin. Their old guys got even older. In your Kyle Lowry gone, Quentin Grimes also gone, and so there's the Embiid backed up by Andre Drummond, backed up by Ariel Huckporty now, and Kelly Oubre's gone. I missed him as well. So it's thin. It's as simple as that. I mean, it feels like the Eastern Conference is almost everybody is even. I know, no disrespect to the Knicks. They're the favorites. Mm-hmm. But all those teams, I mean, you got some strong twos with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, Kawhi and Scotty Barnes, Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Giannis and Bam, Caden, if there's a Duran there, but the Jason Tatum plus whoever, I don't know, and probably LeBron.
Paul George, bro. Jason Tatum and Paul George. That's the twosome now.
Paul George. So I don't know. Is the East kind of more
it's Shireman
fun as a whole
and Gonzalez?
Yeah, that's their duo, backed up by Tatum and PG. The East is spicy. Skeets, you were wondering why did we get group announcements for the NBA Cup? It's because Adam Silver knew this trade was coming, and this was really going to spice things up for the NBA Cup.
Oh, the Sixers are in the group of death.
They are, but I don't think the Celtics are. They are in the same division now. Now I'm thinking back.
The group of death was East Group B, and it looked like the Sixers were maybe the worst. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're like maybe one of the worst looking teams in that group.
They were the lowest rated team.
Holy moly!
East Group B is tough. I'm looking forward to if the Celtics and the Sixers match up at any time, Jaylen Brown feels like a kind of natural matchup for Jason Tatum to me. Mm-hmm. I imagine these two will go at each other every time those teams play against each other 4 times a year. That's awesome.
Oh, I think we can basically lock in Sixers Celtics for either opening week or Christmas. I mean, I feel like you got a story, you got the narrative right there. I'd be shocked if the NBA doesn't put them on one of those marquee days, if not both. So, yeah, wild stuff. If you're just joining us, hit the like button and subscribe. Jaylen Brown going to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George. Maybe 2 first-round picks and a couple second-rounders as well that are like they come by way of, other teams. Most favorable of like the Warriors, Thunder, Bucks, and then the second one, and this is again the second rounder, most favorable of the Wizards, Blazers, and Suns. So you never know where that's going to end up. Don't worry, it'll be traded 8 more times by the time we get to, the 20, 30, 31s, 32s, 33s, stuff like that.
That's exactly right. That's why, I mean, like, you look at the paragraph on Real GM's future drafts detailed to try and understand how this pick could possibly get to the Celtics from the Clippers via the Sixers. And it's just so much text to even understand the pathways this thing might take.
Somebody needs to create a better visual representation of said picks, right? You're nodding away. Because
100%.
You go and read these and you go blind trying to make sense. Even
gotta have a flow chart.
Yeah.
Just a paragraph of text ain't cutting it for me.
No.
I'm a visual learner.
Somebody use some AI and make that happen or something like that.
Here's one other aspect that I feel like is going to get lost and has gotten lost with us. Like, how's the fit with Paul George on the Celtics? All you think about is the contract with Paul George, right? That's all you really care about. But he's going to a team where all they want you to do is shoot 3-pointers. Paul George is a pretty good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he is.
He shot 55% from 3 in the first round against the Celtics, and they're like, go for that guy.
We need that guy. Yeah.
So look, he had a down season, I thought, last year. I did think Paul George kind of stepped it up in the playoffs. He played exactly the way he did during the regular season, but he was one of the guys on the Sixers that I thought was pretty fearless. He's way past his prime, of course, but a Celtics team that's based around trying to get up as many threes, have as much spacing as possible, and switching on defense, bounce back season for Paul George. As long as he doesn't get busted with PEDs.
Well, that's honestly, though, I think why he's looked okay in these latter parts of the season or in the postseason is he's playing half the season. So if that's part of the equation, then sure, I guess he could keep doing it past at his age. But I mean, can he do it for 70 plus games and then postseason runs? I don't know. I'm less convinced, I guess.
Yeah, I think you can imagine what the Celtics are going to be. There's going to be a lot of Tatum running the show from up top, and the passes will go to Paul George or Derek White or Peyton Pritchard. And Paul George, 40% on catch and shoot threes last year. So it seems like they're solid, and that's why I can't yank them out of the that sort of
playoffs
here.
Yeah.
Well, playoffs, they got to be a playoff team. I know the East is tough in general.
East is tough now.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned those teams because if we're talking 6 or 8 playoff teams, however we want to put it these days, the Knicks, Cavs, Raps, Pistons, Sixers, and then Miami and Boston. I mean, that's a lot. So yeah, it seems like they're and I didn't mention Orlando, didn't mention Indiana because we don't know exactly what they're going to be.
A lot of teams.
But
Atlanta, Orlando.
I didn't even think of Atlanta.
There's going to be teams that made moves this summer and last summer that are going to be left out of the top 8. Like, they're not going to actually be playing for the championship.
Yeah. And we literally mentioned 10 teams when you included Orlando, Indiana, and Atlanta. I think the East might be sexier, though. The discussion, the headlines will be: is the East better than the West this year? Because it's pretty even, and I won't remove Boston from that because you can see the way they play, and they're going to be good if Tatum is back to himself because they will spray it around, they will hit a lot of threes, but they do take a little step back.
And then obviously the Hornets might step back, obviously with the LaMelo Ball trade, but they still could be scrappy bunch. I think the Wizards, I saw somebody in the stream team going, are the Wizards going to be better than the Celtics? I'm like, whoa. I think that's a little too far, but they should improve. The basement dwellers are going to be the Nets, I would think still. The Bulls, I think still. And who else?
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Those are your 3 I would think pretty confident would be near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Yeah.
That's what Adam Silver wanted. He wanted every team trying to win, and he's got 12 out of 15 in the Eastern Conference as of right now.
Yeah, and I guess a part of the whole thing, too, the CBA is it's very difficult to have the 2 superstars. I mean, it's just you are putting so much money of your team into 2 guys, and if you're not convinced, maybe they overlap a little too much or whatever, That's difficult to then build your team. And the Celtics did it, won a championship, and then they're like, well, we immediately have to like get rid of half of the guys that helped us win this thing. And now they make this.
Yeah,
decision.
here you go. Here's a future take you can store in your back pocket. Maybe we'll see it come January time. Paul George fits better with Jason Tatum than Jaylen Brown ever did.
Oh, the Boston media mafia, they're going to be running
wait.
with that by next week.
They'll say the only time we actually won a title with Tatum and Brown was that one year we ended up stacked and everybody knew it was unsustainable.
Yeah.
But we got Paul George in here and it opened everything up inside.
Yeah, man. Watch this. Watch Joe Mazzulla go back-to-back for Coach of the Year. They're going to be like, he lost Jaylen Brown, and they still won 52 games. Give it to him again.
Give it to him again. Give Brad the executive of the year again.
Right,
All they got to do is get close to the same amount of wins.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I know there's people here in the stream team watching along saying that the Celtics are going to be far worse, but at the same time, they did get bounced in the first round. So yeah, they got to the first round as a 56-26 win or 56-26 record. But can they not go back to the playoffs and lose in the first round again with the healthy Jason Tatum this time? I'm sure they can pull that off.
It's loaded. We'll see here. That we named like 10 good teams here, or that think they should be good. And Trey, you're right. There's going to be some disappointed teams that have either made a big splashy move or thought they were taking the next step. And it's like, oh, congrats, you're back in the play-in, or you're not even in the playoffs, obviously, because you can't make your way in. We will see. All right. Anything else here from the Sixers side of things, or the Celtics, or anything random? TK, what do you got?
East Group B is spicy. Already said it. A lot of talent out the door in the Chisholm era. Already said it. No bench for the 76ers. Already said it. The Sixers got Jaylen Brown for basically what the Raptors paid for Kawhi Leonard. That's kind of crazy.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus
it cost the
Plus
Lakers more for Walker Kessler, right?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we'll save that. We're going to save that, guys.
That's a silly one, isn't it?
Hey, the two marquee franchises had a day today, didn't they? In what
Yes,
all the
did.
Lakers were doing, Walker Kessler and their other signings, and then what the Celtics have done here, trading Jaylen Brown for Paul George, and some light draft capital. But we'll get into the Lakers tasks on Friday's Drop Podcast. That's the plan for now. I'm sure we'll be leading. Well, maybe Jaylen Brown is bump him again here, but we'll be talking about him on Friday.
Yeah, as we left the office today and we saw one Laker transaction come in, and then another one come in, and then another Laker transaction come in, and then a fourth. Is it not four?
Yeah. It was 4 within 45 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
That was real close.
That swayed us, maybe if it's different teams, maybe we pull over and say, get back in the studio. Let's do a show about all those moves. But when it's one team, I think you can wait till Friday. But
well, we're getting paid, double time for this. It is July 1st. It's Canada Day.
Right,
so this
right,
is
right.
a national holiday to some of us. And we got an American soccer game coming up here. Football, excuse me. What, in 20 minutes, right? Yeah.
We've had 2 great elimination games today.
Oh, I know. I had so much going on when this trade broke. First off, I was eating a nice bowl of salad. That was great. Watching this game for an extra time. Holy crap. I had it cranked too. I had the volume so loud. Suddenly a guy's knocking on my door. Dog's going crazy. I'm like, I literally opened the door. I go, not now, man. Jaylen Brown's been traded. The guy started laughing. He was a young guy. And he's trying to sell me pest control. He's like, a lot of spiders in the neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, nature, man. Yeah, fucking crazy, isn't it? So there was a lot going on when this thing went down. Whew.
Oh, yeah. I was renting a car when LaMelo Ball got traded, and I was really excited to talk about it with the guy who was renting me the car, and then he's just yelling across the street to another guy, what, LaMelo got traded? Another guy chimes in, yeah, but he's got a bad contract. It's funny when real news just happens out in earth. So yeah, very exciting. Now Team USA's got to pull it out in stoppage time. That seems to be the way things are going today.
Holy,
in the FIFAs.
Man. It's nerve-wracking, man.
It almost felt like a basketball game watching Senegal-Belgium because the game winner was overturned because of a video review. I mean, overturned in that there was a penalty called because of video review. And then we were just waiting to see what the referee decided to call. Oh, yeah, it's a penalty kick. Yeah, go ahead and score the winning goal now. It felt like I was watching a basketball game. watch a video review.
So look, we'll call it there. And thanks everybody for joining us live here on YouTube.
One last thing from the stream team.
Yeah.
Asked them who won the trade.
Yeah.
Maybe a record-breaking poll response. 93% say the Sixers won the trade.
Yeah. I would agree
I mean,
with that.
7% is a pretty low poll response.
Yeah.
It's hard to make a Celtics argument, though.
Yeah, that's what. Man, what a silly offseason already here. Like we have had some. This is our fifth big name? Is that safe to say that's been traded here? We got Giannis. We got LaMelo. We got Ja Morant. We obviously have Jaylen Brown.
Julius Randle.
I was going to say, are we counting that?
He's an all-star.
All-star.
Is there anyone else I'm forgetting? Or are those big ones?
I don't know. Would you call Walker Kessler a big one?
No.
Aaron Wiggins.
No, I won't go Wiggins. Okay, that's some. Hey, look, that's some big names. Oh, Kawhi. Come on,
Kawhi Leonard.
Thank
Kawhi
you.
Leonard.
I knew I was forgetting something. Come on. All right.
Right.
That's
I just feel like if we stay on here long enough, we can get another trade out of somebody. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like now,
You're right.
I was on the record, so I'm happy with my prediction that this was going to happen, and sooner rather than later, the Jaylen Brown of it all being traded. But like now maybe everybody can chill here for a little bit outside of these other smaller pickups and transactions here in free agency. I mean,
smaller,
the
that's
Yeah.
Jalen Duren will be really interesting. When you say smaller, that's all I'm thinking about right now is the 76ers. My last point is how small they're going to be. They're going to run out some smallies in along with Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, LeBaron Philon, and Dean Wade, along with Jaylen Brown. They're going to go 1 through 4. They're going to be super tiny, especially when Embiid gets injured. I mean, they might have to go like super small. We didn't even mention Dean Wade because it's just a guy who gets skipped over, but he is a Sixer and he's going to be playing for them.
Yeah, at least he's not small, actually. Dean Wade.
No,
he's shockingly
he's
big.
going to be one of their bigs.
He's got the name of a small guy, but yeah.
Tall hair as well. I feel like very
He does.
swoopy in the front.
That's some height. Yeah, look, hey, I think this is just a classic. Whoa, hold on. They're actually considering, a couple picks and second rounders and Paul George for Jaylen Brown. And they're like, hold on. I think they're saying yes to this. Are they punking us? Should we say yes back? All right, do it. See if we're getting, pranked here by Brad Stevens in the front office. And then they're like, nope, it's through. So, that's a no-brainer to me. Guy was a fantastic player. And I don't think he's going to fall off here at year 30. And he's going to be inspired, especially when he plays the Celtics, to see what he can do. But lots still to talk about. We'll get into it on Friday unless there's another reason for emergency podcast. Thanks again. Hit the like button, subscribe, 5-star ratings and reviews. Till then, Clipper Bro.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Kawhi Leonard was traded for more than Jaylen Brown was, especially because there was a dick involved in one and Adem Bona didn't get thrown in on the other one. That would have been perfect, man. That would have been so good.
What's the lesson learned here? Be like Kawhi and just never say anything. Don't have a full-time Twitch stream and take your trade value. I don't know. Just be like Kawhi and say nothing and pretend you're planting trees. All right, embrace the night, people. Go America. Good luck.